everyone, welcome to my channel. If you are new here, thank you so much for clicking on this video. And if you are not new here, thank you so much for watching my videos and coming back. Today's video, I'm going to be doing a little story time. I have a couple of funny stories to tell. I'm also gonna eat some Taco Bell. I'm currently in Flagstaff, Arizona, hence the trees behind me, which is where I went to college. And I also worked at Taco Bell while I was in college. So I had to go see if anybody was still there that would like remember me. And there was, one of my managers was there. So that was cool. Man, they've gone downhill since I left that place. Anyway, so I have been inspired by being here in Flagstaff for the weekend. I came up for a wedding. My good friends Haley and Simeon got married this weekend. Shout out to you guys. They are angels and they watch my videos and I love them the most. It was such a fun wedding. We had such a great time. My friend Taylor and I, like, low-key, high-key, like, but it was so fun. We had the time of our lives and it was so nice to see a bunch of my friends from college. I've just been inspired by being here in Flagstaff, seeing my old school and everything, and I thought I would do a story time about some of the funny, crazy things that happened to me during my time at NAU. So if you don't know this, I went to Northern Arizona University in Flagstaff. It is mountainous. She is forest. She is nature. It is super like wilderness out here. I'm a little bit of a city girl, but it was still a really fun experience going to college up here. It is such a college town. The college makes up a majority of the town. So let's just jump right into it. Let's get into some memories that I have besides working at Taco Bell. My senior year, I lived in a house with 4 girlies, and I'll change up the names for the stories to save the girlies. But I did live with my best friend Jenna for 3 years in college, and the 4th year we lived with these 2 other girls. We all got along great, but there was just one that was like a little over the top. My friends and I would party. Like, we definitely had our fair shares of blackouts. This girl was like blackout or back out. Like, she'd be coming home, but like she wasn't coming home. You know what I mean? We'll call her Carrie for the sakes of the story. So my girl Carrie, we go out. She's donezo. She's also like a really small girl, so like it was like 4 shots and she's done so, you know? So there was one night in particular I will literally never forget. Jenna and I come home from the bars and homegirl is locked out of the house. I think she was in the garage, but she was like locked out from the door that went into the apartment. So we found her super unwell. Jenna and I came home with like a bunch of our friends just to like hang out afterwards, and we get home, we let her into the house, and she's like, I lost my keys. We lived in this apartment complex that was pretty like geared towards students, so every single bedroom had like its own lock and key, so you could lock your doors if you didn't like know your roommates well, stuff like that. Homegirl locked her door and lost her keys. You're just gonna have to sleep in one of our bedrooms tonight or the couch and go get a key tomorrow morning. Like, what do you want to do? She is just so mad, like so mad that she lost her keys. So she takes it out on Jenna and I. We're like trying to like give her water, put her to bed, and this little bitch is feisty. She comes up and pushes me, pushes Jenna, like low-key was trying to scrap, which I don't know why, because Jenna and I could definitely take her. She's literally yelling at us, pushing us. She then runs out into the middle of the road, leaves the front door, runs out. We're like, oh my gosh. Like, all of our friends are like, is your roommate good? Eventually, we get her back inside, and we're like, okay, like, let's put you to bed. You need some water. You need to go to bed. And we go upstairs. She's trying to get back into her room again with no keys. And then all of a sudden she goes, I have to pee. And each of us had our own bathrooms in our room. And we're like, okay, girly, like go in one of our bathrooms. Like your room's clearly locked. And what does she do? This girl in front of our other roommate's room pulls down her pants and straight up starts pissing on our carpet. No fucks given, just straight vibing, straight peeing on our carpet. And I will literally never, ever, ever forget that. I wish her all the best. We don't talk anymore. The next story that I thought had a place on my channel is one of my 21st birthday. So my 21st birthday was basically a bender. I turned 21 on a Wednesday in Flagstaff and probably other places too. We do this wacky thing called a power hour. Actually, I don't think that's Flagstaff specific. I feel like that's just like a college thing or like a 21 thing. I don't know. Let me know down below if you had a power hour as well. But basically, what you're supposed to do for a power hour is take a shot of beer every minute for the hour before you turn 21. I didn't do that. I just like got drunk before. I threw like a fun pre-game at my house. Then we went out to karaoke on my actual 21st birthday right at midnight. The next night was my favorite night of the week. Wednesday nights in Flagstaff, they used to do this thing called wristbands. So basically you paid $5, you got a wristband, and all well drinks were $1 all night. It was insane, obviously, as you can imagine. It was so much fun. So that was my very first wristbands ever, but I then don't think I missed a wristbands the entire rest of my college career. And then Thursday after class, my friends and I left for Vegas. Daniel and another girl and I were all driving to Vegas together, and then other friends were meeting us there. And so the first night was just gonna be Daniel. For the story, I'll call this girl Chloe. So Daniel, who that's his real name, Daniel, Chloe, and I got to Vegas, and the first night I wanted to hit the strip, hit a club, like let's go, it's my 21st birthday. So we got ready, we went out, and we went to HAHAHA. That was my first ever nightclub. We were having fun, but it was our first night. We didn't want to club all night, get super tired, and not want to do anything the next couple days. We ended up leaving the club kind of early, and on the way out of the club, we were walking out. This guy stops me and grabs me and starts talking to me, and immediately I was like, oh my god, because he was Australian. If you know me, if you've seen any of my dating style videos before, you know that like an accent is where it's at for me. Like, all you have to have is an accent. I have high standards unless you're foreign. Anyways, so this guy starts talking to me, and I'm like, oh my god, I love him. I'm literally in love with him. Let's take him with us. I was like, we're leaving the club. And he's like, okay, I'll come with you guys. And we were gonna go like walk around the strip. So we were like, come on. Kind of weird that he came with us, and where are your friends? We're even gonna tell your friends. He just dipped. Homeboy just left with us. Maybe he was there alone. I don't know. And we go walking on the strip. We go hit a couple bars like in the casino. And we get to this one bar. I'm like, and apparently Homeboy is fighting with this really nice couple that was like sitting next to us. I didn't even notice. I was just living my best little Vegas life, unfazed. But my friends noticed and were like, this guy's actually like kind of whack. So we leave the bar and we're on our way to go get an Uber and go home for the night. And I'm like, I'm gonna go home with this random crazy Australian man. My friends are like, no the fuck you're not. And I was like, yeah I am, it's my birthday, I can do whatever I want. And they were literally like, no. Which looking back, thanks for that. In the moment, of course, I was so stubborn. I was like, you guys, like, let me go. Like, it's my birthday. He's so cute. I'm obsessed with him. And they're like, you're gonna die. Like, this is how people get murdered. Anyways, these two kind of older guys come up to my friend Chloe. They're like trying to talk to her. She's like, as a last resort, last hope, she looks at them and she's like, I don't know what to do. My friend's trying to go home with this guy. She doesn't know him. Can you guys like help me, like tell her that he's not a good guy and blah blah blah. And one of them whips out a fat stack of cash, like, and he's like, do you think this will help convince her to stay? And instantly I was like, bye Ozzy. I'm like, let's go with these men. Which is like not any better, but at least my friends were with me at this point. My friend's like, yeah, like let's go, like where are we going? And there was like a limo parked in the hotel circle part where you wait for taxis and such. And the guys go over to the limo driver and are like, hey, like we want to rent this, like can you take us around? And he's like, no, sorry, like I actually already have people, like I'm just out here waiting for them. And homeboys are like, well, what if we, and they like pull out their stacks again and they like slide him a couple hundreds, and he was like, okay, hold on, and he like called somebody to come pick his people up. We got in the limo. Our sugar daddies then had the limo go to a liquor store that they could buy champagne at to celebrate my birthday. So we're all popping bottles in the limo. Daniel's over here, Chloe and one sugar daddy are over here, me and one sugar daddy are over here. Poor Daniel. So the sugar daddies then decide that they're going to take us to a strip club. So first strip club experience as well. And they actually paid for Daniel to get into the strip club too, which is like so nice. Daniel always says that he can tell how much a guy is into his friends by how well he gets treated by the guy. That's like our running joke. So these guys were like all about Daniel. We go into the strip club, and I'd never been to a strip club before. It was actually pretty insane. Now, I didn't know you like aren't allowed to also dance. So they're playing bangers and Chloe and I are just like dancing all night, you know, just like normal. And we literally get threatened to get kicked out because we were dancing too crazy and we were taking away from the opportunities of the strippers. I think we eventually actually did end up getting kicked out because Chloe dropped a drink and shattered glass everywhere. They're like, y'all gotta go. We end up at a casino, and this was personally my favorite part of the night because I love gambling when it's with somebody else's money. Still to this day, that's my favorite form of finesse, is like going to the casino with someone and being like, can I play? Anyway, so we go to the casino and they're like, here you go girls, like here's some chips. Every hand I'm like putting a chip down and like putting a chip in my purse and putting a chip down and winning and putting the winnings in my purse. I came out of that casino $300 richer than I was before. Ended up paying for my entire rest of my Vegas trip, and it was amazing. They just kept handing us money and letting us gamble with it, and then once we were all done gambling and partying with the sugar daddies, we just went on our merry way back home, and that was that. It was truly such a fun experience. I would not give my 21st birthday experience back for the world. I had the best week of raging, truly. I actually don't really think that these guys were sugar daddies. I actually think that they won pretty big that night. They were like normal, you know, like they're wearing rainbows to the casino. Alright, and the last story is less of a story, more of a lesson. So there's this bar in Flagstaff, formerly known as Monsoons. They got taken over when I was a senior and turned into the market, and that still was like a restaurant but then nightlife. I went this weekend to walk by it and go see like what was good. They turned it into a restaurant that does not open at night anymore, so it is not poppin' and it's not a club. So sad, because that is truly where most of my core faded memories are from. Besides wristbands, if I wasn't at wristbands, I was at Monsoons. Like, I always liked the people who went there. The vibes were always cool. And Flagstaff is a really like small town. You can't really go somewhere without running into people you know in Flagstaff, which personally I loved about it. I love the sense of community and such at the bars. The sense of community that Monsoons brought. My life advice that I learned from this bar is to date a bouncer. If you are in college especially, date a bouncer at your favorite local bar. Why, you might ask? First of all, I can't tell you how many times I would stand up on the booths of the restaurant seating. Like, if there's a table, I'm gonna go to it. If there's like a DJ booth, I'm gonna try to be behind it. Like, everybody's down here and I wanna be like up here watching everybody. So I would always stand up on the booth, and anybody who would do that would get kicked out. However, since I was dating a bouncer, the other bouncers at the bar knew me as well, and probably because of the fact that I literally was there Thursday through Saturday every weekend. Point is, instead of kicking me out, they just intercom him on their little microphones and be like,
Ryan, come get your girl.
And he'd have to like come and like grab me and be like, get down. I never got kicked out, so that was really clutch. Reason number one. Reason number two, one time I forgot my ID. Nowhere lets you in without an ID, you know. However, since I was dating a bouncer, he could guarantee that I was 21, and he just let me right on in when I didn't have my ID. Reason number three, dating a bouncer, is bars would close. I would go get drunk food with my friends. I'd get Aloha Hawaiian barbecue, my favorite, or literally anything, and then he would drive me home. He'd pick me up from my food stop and he would take me home. Free Uber. 3 reasons why I'm telling you, you should date a bouncer. It's for sure the vibe. It's the move. Trust me, you get all the perks. So those are just a couple of stories that I had from college. If you liked this video, if you like story times, let me know in the comments down below. I would love to do more story times, but sometimes I literally forget about any of the things that have ever happened to me. So if you're my friend and you can think of like funny moments that have happened to us before that I should put into a story time, comment that down below. If not, just comment anything you'd like to see from me. I post new videos every single Tuesday, so I hope you choose to subscribe. Hopefully you liked this video. If you did, give it a big thumbs up. And that is it for this week's video. So thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe, please. If you'd like to see more pictures from my trip to Flagstaff, check out my Instagram, and hopefully I will see you all in the next one. It's fucking hot. I need some air real quick.